Your average clearance speed came out as 118.6, close to 119, which is above elite man's average. Elite man here includes the tour players, college players, and some teaching professionals. So you're generating more speed than the average. Particularly when it's normalized to your body height, you tend to generate more speed. But the only thing is that the overall swing time is close to 1200 milliseconds, so it's 1.2 seconds here. Mm-hmm. This is because your backswing is, initial part of backswing is really slow. Okay. It's beneficial to speed up the backswing. Okay. But in your pattern, you tend to put a lot of muscular effort to hit the ball in the downswing. So backswing is initially starts slowly here, and then later you try to hit it hard. Mm-hmm. So it's important to finish overall swing maybe around 900 milliseconds. Okay. So if you start from here, that means you have to shorten probably backswing this much here. Okay. And the 3 and the 4 are separated. 3 is when during the backswing when the lead arm is parallel to the ground. 4 is when the club becomes vertical in the frontal plane. So these should be separated. So this is good. 5 and 6. 5 is the end of pelvis rotation. 6 is top of backswing. But these are also reasonably separated. 7 is on the way down when the lead arm is parallel to the ground. Mm-hmm. 8 is when the club is vertical. And then these are also reasonably separated. So good. Timing of these events is concerned. It's okay. Now, but in the top view, this large rectangle shows your swing plane. Okay. This is calculated from the club head motion. It's inward by about close to 5 degrees. Okay. And then this smaller rectangle is the hand motion plane. So it's calculated from the hand motion. Mm-hmm. It's about 3.5 degrees. So both are showing an inward alignment. Okay. This is perhaps because you put a lot of effort in the downswing. When you put a lot of muscular effort, then you tend to pull this in, so everything is going inward. Okay. But at least these are fairly parallel to each other, which is positive side. Mm-hmm. And then this is when everything is aligned along the swing plane here. So this straight line is the swing plane, mm-hmm. calculated from the club head motion, from horizontal to horizontal here. And then when we extend it all the way here and project the club head position to the swing plane, you see all these deviations. Mm-hmm. These show the off-plane motion. And then in general, your club head path is really good here. So it's initially moving along the swing plane. Mm-hmm. And then goes up a little bit and then have a nice loop here coming down here. So this motion, this shallowing motion is really good. All good there. Mm. And then, although when you start in the backswing, you tend to lift the club head. Mm-hmm. So while the hands are still below, way below the swing plane, you just tend to lift the club head. But it's better to move the hands also a bit higher here. Okay. So from here, just move the hands up. With that, naturally bring the club head higher. Okay. Instead of hand goes here and you just lifted the club head.
So not as much that and more kind of like just
doing it with more let the hands go more laterally here, go around here.
Okay, got it.
So although in your case you're not really introducing wrist cock early, mm-hmm. but typically when this happens, people tend to have early wrist cock. Okay. Then also on the way down, tend to use wrist early.
Got it.
Yeah. But in your case, it's not, because 3 and 4 are well separated. So the club head path is, this is probably the simplest you can come up with. So initially move along the swing plane, and then have nice looping motion, and then coming down toward the swing plane. So this is really good here. your swing plane slope is 46.6 degrees, which is reasonable. Although it's a little bit, a bit steeper than the average. So if it goes around here, really the midsection of the body, then this will be nice. But it's a little bit steeper than what I want.
Okay.
But judging from how you shallow the club head, this should be okay.
Okay.
And then the hand motion plane slope is 55.3 degrees. So you see about 9-degree difference, which is also very good. So your hand motion plane, the plane along which your hand moves versus the swing plane, they have about 9-degree difference,
Okay.
which is perfectly normal.
Okay. And then with the swing plane, will we like kind of discuss how to shallow it out a little bit more, or is that
No need to do that.
Yeah.
In your case, this is perfect.
Okay.
The only thing is, later I will show you, but here, let's see here. So go up here, and then during the backswing, you tend to sit down here. So your body tends to go down a little here instead of going up.
Going up.
This is whole body center of mass. Normally in the backswing, this has to go a bit higher. So this is the center of mass motion here. This is the whole body center of mass.
Okay.
Typically, it goes away, and then go up here, and then going down and up here. But in your case, as soon as the backswing starts, it goes down, diagonally down, and slightly going up here, and then drop, and then go high quite a bit here.
Okay.
So what that means is that during the backswing, you tend to lower your body because in the downswing, you want to push the ground hard.
Yeah. Okay.
Almost having jumping-like action. And then your left knee is sticking out this way. So you're not allowing the pelvis really shift this way enough here. So when you keep, during the backswing, when you keep the left knee bent like this, and then it's sticking out this way, then you cannot really push the ground with this and then extend like this.
Okay.
Because this,
It's still
you want to
fixed.
keep this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why your body tends to go down. And then later it goes up rapidly here. That means you have intentional push, a lot of push here.
Okay.
So it's a fairly muscle-driven swing here. And also what I see here is, so as you can see in this posture here, the pelvis is fairly already turning toward the target here, but your upper part is behind here.
Okay.
So you have tendency of a stuck elbow.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. It's a part of the reason is you want to keep it lower here, and then when you come down, coming this way here, then try to jump. But if you bring this up using good trail leg action, throw here, and then throw the hands in front of your body, you don't have to go this way.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have a tendency of a bit of a stuck elbow here. So in this down along the swing plane here, on the way down here, when the club is pretty much horizontal, then when you draw a vertical line from the right shoulder down here, your elbow is inside here.
Got it.
That means it's a kind of stuck elbow here.
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So at this point, if the upper arm is aligned more vertically here, that means the hand should stay more in front of your body here. Then it's normal, but in this case, it's
Just a
bit
little bit
behind here. Yeah, so the elbow is inside the vertical line here.
Okay.
This is something you have to work on. Okay. So what happens is that when this goes a bit more, then your body tends to turn around, and this stays way behind when you try to hit it really hard.
Okay.
You have to sort of bring the hands in front of your body. So this is your unique swing pattern here. then you have to make the decision whether you want to do something about this or not.
Okay.
So my recommendation is move the hands more in front of your body here so that you don't bring this behind your body.
Okay. Will that make the angles that you're talking about go more left, or will that a little bit? Okay.
And more importantly, the hands will travel more in front of your body.
Okay.
So what happens is when this happens, later in the downswing, you keep your elbows all flexed here because you have to come this way here. Let's go to the frontal view here. You see, if you look at your elbow posture here, it's bent here because it's coming behind here and then you're bringing in front of your body.
Okay.
So the hands are staying close to the body.
Yeah.
But if you let the hands go more in front of your body here, then the left arm will be well extended. And then the right will be a little bit, flexed here, and then going into impact position. Then later you have straight arms here.
Got it.
But in this case, you're going into this chicken wing posture. It's because it's coming behind your body.
Okay.
So normally this will go horizontal in the away direction, whole body center of mass, and it goes up and coming down and up here.
Okay.
But you are in the backswing is going downward here. That means you're intentionally dropping the body to initially later push ground hard.
Okay.
The pelvis motion here. So one thing quite sticking out here is this red line here. In the lower one, the red line is the pelvis rotation. And if you look at this, during the backswing, you are not turning the pelvis that much. But at impact, your pelvis is turning toward the thigh quite a bit here. So these are not well balanced here. Okay. So you have a tendency of turning the pelvis a lot into the impact. It's because it's coming behind your body and then your pelvis turns early and they're coming behind here. So by the time you reach the impact position, your pelvis shows a lot of turn here. So it's about 70 degrees. But these lines here, these lines are pretty much elite men's average here. And also these should be well balanced. So about 45 degrees this way and then 45 degrees this way at impact. That's good balance. But you are not turning enough in the backswing and then turning quite a bit in the downswing. It's because of this pelvis opening early and then just coming behind.
Okay.
And then this blue line is a lateral tilt, showing this motion here. So during the backswing, the right side is higher than the left side, so you see this lateral tilt. So let's take a look at this stick figure here. During the backswing, so you're dropping the leader side quite a bit. With this, you are creating this lateral tilt.
And is that, again, because of my knee staying flexed a little bit and squatting down? And Okay.
So you are dropping the leader side quite a bit. But if you shift the pelvis in the away direction a bit more, the right leg goes more this way here, left leg will be more going this way here. So you don't see this knee sticking out this way here.
Okay.
And then when that happens, you are bringing the right hip higher, left hip lower. With this, you are creating this lateral tilt here. But currently, you're just maintaining this and they're dropping the left side quite a bit. With that, you are generating this lateral tilt. Okay. And then this blue line is up and down motion of the pelvis. So it's going down quite a bit and then going up here. So at impact, it's not quite, it's about, this is about the same to what the initial position here. And then from the beginning, it's dropping. Usually it stays here and then it comes down and then goes up. And then at impact, it stays a bit higher than the initial position. But in your case, the pelvis is dropped quite a bit here. It's because during the backswing, you tend to lower your body. And then this shows away motion. The green line shows away motion, and then recentering here to this point, and then keep moving toward the target here. So in general, this pattern is reasonable. Then the X factor here, X factor shows the separation between the hips and shoulders here.
Okay.
And then you go way above elite man's average here. So you're separating the hips and shoulders quite a bit here. Partially because your body is flexible, but partially also because you're not turning the pelvis that much.
Yeah. Okay.
But yet, so your pelvis does not rotate in the backswing that much, yet you turn your shoulders quite a bit here. So it's a lot of rotation here. So if the shoulder turns about 90 degrees, then any more than that may be too excessive.
Okay.
So you try to use the range of motion and try to hit the ball hard in the downswing using the muscles. So for that, you need to separate this much here.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, and then it tends to increase all the way to top of backswing and then a bit more. So this continuous increase is good. Okay. So you are separating the shoulder and hips continuously during the backswing. Now this is the kinematic sequence, which is basically angular velocity patterns here. And so the red line is the pelvis or the hip line. Green is the thorax, blue is the shoulders, and gray is the arms, and then this is the club here. And then your pelvis peak angular velocity occurs a bit too early.
Okay.
And when this happens, you have too much time here, from here to the top of backswing here.
Okay.
So then you have a hesitation there.
And so that's the pelvis?
Yeah, the red line is pelvis.
Okay.
So bring the pelvis peak maybe to the center here. Okay. So if your body reaches peak angular velocity near the center of the backswing here, then the arms will be delayed. This will be further delayed. But currently, your pelvis peak occurs too early. Too early, and then after that, it's slowing down quite a bit, and then this phase of sort of hesitation, nothing happening to the pelvis motion here.
Is that just because I'm not like turning my pelvis and hips enough, or is that because I'm dropping down? Or
You are not turning enough, and then also, the backswing is slow, so you have too much time.
Okay.
But then what you do is you quickly turn your pelvis early. Then after that, not much to do. So that's why. So when you speed up the backswing, then this will become better organized here.
Okay.
So simply have the feel of speeding up the backswing with the active turn here. And when you have an active turn and going into downswing, you don't have to
do that.
Turn the body this way here.
Okay.
Yeah. This can put a lot of burden on the spine.
Okay.
So the timing of the pelvis angular velocity will be too early here. So generally here. And then in the transition phase, you have a reasonable sequential transition here. So this is pelvis. This is shoulders and the arms and the club here, which is good. So your connection is good, actually.
Yeah.
So from backswing to downswing, that connection is good. You have to maintain that motion.
Yeah.
But the only thing is that the backswing is a bit slow. So have a bit active backswing and then connect going into downswing.
Got it.
And then this is in the downswing here. The peak occurs slightly after when the club is aligned vertically here. But these timings are okay, generally here. And then, but this pink line here, pink line is your wrist angular velocity observed on the swing plane here. So when it's a negative, that means it's a cocking. Positive means uncocking. So you have a good delayed release here.
Okay.
You see, this is top of backswing here. Even when you start the downswing, still wrist cocking angular velocity increases a little bit, and then you have a delayed release here. So this is actually timing is really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the timing of the uncocking is really good.
So that is what you kind of want to see is like as you start the downswing, it continues to.
It's coming up from your nice shallowing pattern here. So it follows along the swing plane and it goes slightly above, and then coming down toward the swing plane, and then you let it go. So with that, your wrist shows a delayed release here.
Okay.
But surprisingly, it's not, the maximum angular velocity is lower than elite man's average.
Okay.
But yet, the club angular velocity is higher. But that means you are turning the body faster here, but you're not using your wrist enough here.
Got it.
But actually, that happens because your body turns quite a bit here, and then coming down.
Everything's kind of just holding instead of releasing.
Yeah. So normally, what should happen is this has to the wrist angular velocity should be high enough. With that, you have a high club angular velocity, but it's coming from body turn.
Gotcha.
But your contribution of the wrist motion is a bit lower, although the pattern is good.
Okay. That's good.
So here, what I see is your connection is good between the backswing and downswing, and then the timings are reasonable. But the only thing is that you are letting the body to turn too early, and then this is falling behind here. That's the thing you need to work on. But again, it's your choice.
Okay. Yeah. No.
If you have played this way for long, then try to change now. I don't know what will happen. So that the arms and club falling behind here, that actually puts a lot of burden on the spine. That's for sure, because you have to have more than necessary sort of rotation motion in the spine.
I'm always open to changing and getting better, and I definitely want a long career ahead of me. So, yeah.
Yeah. So with this pattern, what happens is you're using your muscle, you're pulling this, and then this happens here.
Yeah, that kind of pattern there.
But one way to do this is keep the ball a bit away from your body, more away from your body. Then you know that you have to reach out more, then your hands have to move in front of your body instead of coming behind it like this.
Got it.
That may be something.
Yeah, just a simple way to kind of get that.
So in the afternoon, let's try it a little bit and see how it goes.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Intentionally try to keep the ball a bit more away from your body, and then you try to reach out. Then you will have less of this.
Yeah.
So see how it goes.
Okay.
And then this shows how you use the ground. Now, the middle one is the ground reaction forces here. So the arrows here. So this is the force acting on your lead side, and this is the force acting on your trail side. So at the beginning, the two forces are fairly equal to each other here. The green is the force on the lead side, blue is the force on the trail side. These are fairly equal to each other. But up to this point here, you see your club already moved this much, but in terms of interaction with the ground, nothing is changing here. It's because of this lifting motion here.
Okay.
So instead, move the hands here.
And that will get kind of more
With
force
this,
and weight into
with
the
this,
heel
you
side.
will be able to change this here.
Okay.
And also, initially, because you are starting slowly here, you are starting with the equal amount of forces here. But actually, at the beginning of the backswing, you should have more force acting on the lead side here. At this point, you should have more force on this side. With that, you have an active start of backswing.
Okay. So it's almost like the weight is kind of on the front side in order to kind of push off and get into.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then start active backswing here.
Got it.
But up to this point, you maintain equal amount of forces. So nothing really happens in terms of the way you interact with the ground. And then here we have a good push here from the trail side here. Now you have a large trail side force, almost no forces, almost a complete unloading on the leader side. So creating this difference is good. However, after that, the two forces becomes equal to each other here. Before you reach the end of pelvis rotation, you see these two forces are already equal to each other, so the center pressure is staying right in the middle of your stance. This is early, and then as a result, at the top here, you are maintaining more force on the lead side here.
Okay.
This is similar to the stack and tilt swing. Have you ever tried stack and tilt?
Mm-mm.
This is because you try to keep this knee bent and sticking out this way here.
Okay.
That means you are discouraging yourself moving away.
Okay.
And then in order to maintain this flexed here, you have to quickly shift your body in this way here.
Okay.
But this is not as bad as typical stack and tilt. In typical stack and tilt, you cannot push the ground hard in the downswing.
Okay.
But this is mainly because you want to maintain this. Instead of shifting the body early toward the target, in order to maintain this left knee bent here, that's why you have more force acting on this side.
That is something that I've like with my coach back home have kind of been trying to limit. Is we've seen that I've been getting like quite a bit of lateral motion there early, and so we've been trying to figure out ways to kind of keep my.
So just a simple natural motion here. Imagine a triangular space here. So the head does not move that much laterally. Head can move up and down, but it's not moving that much here. But you can still have the pelvis move actively here within this space here.
Okay.
Because we have wide stance, that means we have more room for lateral motion.
Yeah.
With wide stance, if you don't move your body laterally, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
When you interact with the ground naturally, then your body has to move both horizontally and also vertically here.
Okay.
In the vertical motion, you have a little bit of up and down motion here. And in horizontal motion, you move the pelvis actively, laterally here. When this happens, then in the downswing, you don't have to put that much muscular effort.
Got it.
So this motion here. And then during the backswing, essentially you have more force on the trail side here. And all the way to top of backswing here. And then as you start downswing, then you have more force on the leader side.
Okay.
But in your case, because of this posture here, you have more force on the leader side here. And as a result, generally, if you look at this force here, combine the force here, so up to this point, it shows the inclination. So it's inclined toward the target. But after that, the force pretty much stays upright here. It's because this horizontal force and this horizontal force are equal to each other. So they cancel each other.
Okay.
But at this point, still you should have a good amount of force acting on this side here.
Yeah.
And the unloaded leader side here.
So that's happening a little early where I'm transferring my weight a little bit.
So throughout this phase here, you will see the ground reaction force always stays vertical here. Then you are not interacting with the ground that well here.
Okay.
So easiest way to interact with ground is having a stepping-like action. Step on the right side and step on the left side. So at the beginning of the backswing, you have active push from the leader side. During the backswing, you have active push using the trailer side. And in the downswing, you have leader side push. So leader side push here, trailer side push here, and then leader side push. So with that, you are just alternating the sides and then push. So it's like a stepping action.
Got it.
Stepping outward. So pushing the ground outward.
So to start the swing, I'm kind of pushing from that left side, and then at the top of the backswing, then I start pushing off of my right side, and then downswing, pushing up from the left again.
So if you just swing easy here, and then this is natural motion in the swing, go here and then swing, go here and then swing. This is natural motion here. In doing that, we automatically have this more stepping like action here.
Yeah.
In order to shift it this way, you have to push the ground initially. You start this way, and then by pushing the ground down and out, the force acting on your body is going this way here. Using that, you are initiating this motion here.
Yeah.
Then later you push this side here.
Got it.
So if you keep stepping here, while just swinging the arms here, then you will be able to develop just a natural pattern here, and then throw.
Got it. Cool.
And then, so although one thing you do well is maintaining this distance here between this arrow and the center of mass here.
Okay.
So this gap is called the momentum, which is this graph here. And then when you multiply the force and momentum, So this force magnitude and this momentum, that gives the torque. Imagine you're using a wrench to rotate something. Then from the center of rotation to your hand, this is the momentum arm. And then this is the force you are applying.
Yeah.
So this distance times your force, that's the torque.
Got it.
And then you're generating good amount of torque about here by keeping this already on this side here. And then so you have this separation. So the momentum is fairly long. This is elite man's average maximum momentum here. At the top, you already have this momentum. Times the force goes below the body weight here. It's called the unweighting. It's called the unweighting. So you see, this is equal to body weight. The unit is body weight here. So one body weight here, and you have a net push here because the force goes above the body weight. This is called active push. And then when the force goes below, it's called the unweighting. And then you have active push here. Okay. So push, unweight, and push. This is how you interact with the ground. Okay. In the vertical direction, you always push more and then reduce that force, so go unweight. Push, unweight, push, unweight. You repeat that. With that, you have active interaction with the ground. Then your head will move in the vertical direction a little bit. And then during, in the horizontal direction, you just keep pushing. By alternating the legs, you'll be able to change the direction.
Okay. So is that a good pattern there where it's pushing then on weight?
Maintaining this long momentum is good here. Okay. So with that, you are generating large torque. That's the main source of your speed. Okay. So you are using the ground and generating large torque. Okay. So with that, you are generating good speed here. That's good. But the early shifting of the center pressure to the lead foot, this is something you have to work on. So a more natural motion pattern is that still the force stays close to the trail side here, all the way to top of backswing. And then once you start the downswing, then you will quickly move toward the leader side. So then you have a natural stepping like action. And at the beginning of the backswing, so you have to do something. So it's called the body trigger, but you use body a little bit and then start the backswing. Okay. Then you'll be able to active backswing. But if you start from this stationary position, just try to lift this first.
Then all of a sudden everything's kind of not in sync. Right?
So you need to start this more actively in the backswing here. So these are what I see here. So overall, the transition sequence is really good, but you tend to bring this behind here, so that later you have to go this way here. So if you want to have more natural motion pattern, then so you have to feel that you are really releasing it here instead of dragging this way. Let it go. Then the hands have to travel a bit more in front of your body here, move away from the body, and then extend and let it go. Instead of keeping it close, that you're turning the body rapidly and try to pull this. Okay. That because of this, everything is going inward. Got it. So in your case, you need to practice more on how to release the club head, throw the club head. By using the active backswing, wind up, and then throw, that way actually you will feel a lot more comfortable, and then you put less effort in the downswing. Okay. And then your spine does not have to twist that much. Okay. This X factor here means you are twisting your spine quite a bit here. Because when you go to the top, maximum here, look at that, your pelvis is about here.
That upper body is more than 90.
Yes,
right?
It's more than 90 degrees. This is a lot of separation here. Okay. Then you have a lot of torsion acting on your spine.
Yeah. So X factor isn't necessarily a good thing, where it's like the more X factor you have, the better.
X factor does not have any correlation to club speed.
No. Okay.
So, developing large X factor does not mean you have a high club speed. Okay. Rather, if you look at the pelvis motion and shoulder motion separately against the club speed, they have correlations. Okay. So what's important is moving the pelvis actively and shoulder actively, and they have a large enough range of motion. That's what's important. Okay. Not the separation between them.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's something that I've kind of had a misunderstanding of then, because like the torque that you were talking about, I almost used to think that like the X factor like was the torque that you were kind of putting on your, yeah.
So when you have this rhythmic motion here, and then just throw and then let it go versus what you're doing is
Like that. Okay.
and then dragging this.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But if you develop more rhythmic leg actions, then this will change a lot of things.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So any questions?
So just as kind of like a recap, like you're saying, so the more rhythmic like leg actions, that'll help a lot, and then also not as much like, not necessarily that I'm hinging it up, but kind of using that ground to start the backswing instead of taking it a little bit more outside, and then from the top, then kind of just getting not rushing everything, getting the club stuck behind, but kind of all together.
Yeah, the focus should be delivering the club head here instead of twisting and then your body going early and then try to bring this behind here.
Okay.
When this happens, the arm goes like this.
Got it.
I will have Yuka Sasso in June. She'll come in June, but she also has an LPGA player. She also has disability.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
So sometimes what happens when the club is a bit too heavy, then you tend to develop that kind of pattern.
Okay.
When the club is heavy, then you cannot really release easily here.
I gotcha.
So then you drag it here. And then there are different ways of dragging here. So from here, by pulling this down and then going up like this, this is one way, or this is another way.
That's the other way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I think your swing weight should be around D5, D6.
Okay. I have no idea what like swing weight really is.
So when you feel the head is a bit heavy, then you cannot really let it go throw. Rather, you tend to drag it.
Okay.
It just dictates your swing pattern.